G'day everyone, Simon Deering and Heath Bassett from You&Me Personalised Property Services, coming to you with the video of the year that was January 23 through to January 24. It was a year of has-beens and have-nots for everyone else outside of Western Australia, but for all of those investing in the glorious state of Western Australia, had some really big wins. Heath, what were your thoughts on January 23 to January 24?
Well, I know the stats. The stats said that on average Perth grew 18% January to January. It had the biggest uptick since March 2021, but in November 2023 to January 2024. Wow. So we had a massive uptick there. You know, some of the suburbs that we've been buying in for 2.5 years grew 35% and 26% respectively. You know, Armadale was one of them, Gosnells was another, and Butler grew an exorbitant amount as well. And we continue to see Butler growing and Armadale growing, and everything that we think that couldn't go up any further continues to go up further.
Yeah, it's insane.
So it's surprising us as well.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things that I love in life is being right. You don't always want to be right, but it is a good feeling when you're a property professional and you're right.
And you're making people money.
Right, and you're making people money. Now, last year, a lot of the top economists said that with all the interest rate rises, you know, be prepared to take a hit in the property. We weren't going to get the growth to see the year. Heath and I had a different take on that last year. We said, look, it's basic 101 economics. If there is no supply and a really strong demand, all market conditions go out the window and prices will go up. It's exactly what happened. Now we're at the start of 2024. We've had our first quarter. What did the first quarter reflect on growth-wise?
Again, statistically speaking, 3 to 4% on average over the quarter for this year.
Yep.
And then expectations are that Perth grows year on year 10% up until 2027.
Yep.
So it's tipped to grow another 30% to 2027. So the people that continue to ask us, hey, am I jumping on the train late? Am I doing this? Yeah, of course. If you bought in 1960 in Perth, you'd be loving life. If you bought in 1980, you'd still be loving life. But we still think that there's another 3 years of growth in Perth. We've got the strongest demand.
Yep.
Lowest supply.
Yep.
Our rental vacancies literally, I just read it the other day, 0.4%.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
So in an average market where, you know, it's balanced, in a balanced market, it's between 2 and 3%. We're at 0.4% rental vacancy, which means that it's absolutely crazy to get a rental out there.
So when you're buying property and you're buying an investment, you want capital growth and you want real strong rent returns. Perth's giving you both of those things. When people talk about sustainability and viability, you've got to understand that where we were in 2014 compared to where we are now, we're only a little bit above where we were in 2014. So it's a very much so a viable market. It's very much sustainable, and it's sustainable based on a number of things on the macroeconomic level, the microeconomic levels, you know, with supply and demand, the economy, infrastructure, vacancy rates, all these things are really making Perth stand out. And while a lot of people got in earlier 2 years ago, it's still an exceptional price point to get in at. Things are always on the rise and you're protected with the vacancy rate. We are predicting 2024 to be very similar to 2023. I actually think a price point below $1 million will see significantly more growth than price points north of $1 million. And areas, you know, again, along the coast, south, we love those south regions. Tell us a little bit more about what's driving the south and why we like it so much.
Yeah, I mean, the Rockingham region in general, I mean, Mandurah's its own hub, Rockingham's its own hub. You don't technically need to leave those two shires to go to the city. So, you know, they're their own sustainability. They've got their own amenities, they've got their own government departments, they've got their own uptake in government funding. You know, Rockingham, being that it is a Navy base centralised area, it's got Garden Island. We're getting together with the UK, the US Defence Force, and I think I read the other day that Japan's hopping on board as well for the nuclear sub. What do you call it? Nuclear sub buy-ins.
Yep. Okay, cool. And then from a north point of view, very much down that coastal region, we're really seeing satellite city of Alkimos really tick a lot of the boxes on our radars, linked in with major economic hubs in Joondalup, and then the closest one being Yanchep. I think Yanchep and Two Rocks are going to continue to grow. We've got massive issues with undersupply still, huge demand. We've got huge interstate migration, international migration, and then obviously the growing local population. And what I'm finding is that now All the people in Perth have also gotten onto the investing wagon. They're starting to see everyone over east buy into Perth, and they're like thinking, hey, we don't want to miss out on this in this space, or miss out on the boat, so to speak.
Yeah, and as I do, I mean, I'll mention one there that you didn't mention that's a bit of a sleeper at the moment, Eglinton.
Yep.
At the moment, it's sort of a suburb in the middle of two major suburbs coming, but that's, you know, that's got to bridge the gap and connect between the two suburbs.
And the demographic in Eglinton and Alkimos is really, really good. So, you know, people that are interstate looking to buy in safe areas, absolutely love it. And then, you know, Alkimos growth over the next 10 to 20 years is going to be phenomenal. So really setting yourself up long term. If you can get into Alkimos and get yourself anything over probably 350 square metres of land with a nice build, you're going to be laughing.
And the other thing I heard you mention just then was immigration.
Yep.
I read a statistic the other day, as I read all statistics. There's something like 220 people per day coming into WA.
It's insane.
So we've got a population of 2.9 million now in WA, and 2.3 million of them are in Perth.
Yep.
So, you know, we've got the highest immigration in the whole of Australia.
Yep.
And like I said, times that by 365, it's something like 80,000 people coming per year. Immigration, don't get me on the maths, but it's around 80,000.
You're getting the picture. So there you guys have it. 23 to 24, everyone winning that's invested in WA. Clients that chose some of the suburbs that we wanted to get invested in obviously outgrew a lot of the other suburbs. And if you'd like to know what suburbs we'll be targeting for 2024, simply go to the website, reach out to us on email, phone number, get in contact with us. We'd love to have a chat. Until next time, guys, happy investing.